Here are my top 3 leadership lessons from riding out a tornado. Last Thursday night, the unexpected happened. Tornado ripped through town in my neighborhood. Damage wasn't really nearly as bad as it was, say, across the bridge or a few blocks over. Mostly here, trees down, patio furniture tossed a few hundred yards. I mean, it flattened the marina across the bridge, toppled buildings, peeled off roofs, snapped trees, and telephone poles like toothpicks. Unbelievable. Went into my neighbor's back porch, ended up in his front yard. It knocked down power lines all over. No power or internet for about 3.5 days. Kind of crazy weekend. But thankfully, no serious injuries here, no loss of life. Throughout the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Kentucky, Kansas, I think 15 people this weekend. So that's really, really rough. But every experience in life, I'm constantly asking the question, what can I learn from this? And that's true whether it's, good things that happen, which is a lot, and also, things that aren't so great. So here are my top 3 lessons so far. The first thing that really stood out to me is the importance of staying calm under pressure. And when everything around you is in turmoil, being able to keep a level head and make rational decisions can make all the difference in the world. In this case, there was no warning. We'll put a video up on the channel and you can actually see, literally no warning, 5 minutes from relatively calm to a little rain to unreal. No sirens. It just popped up super, super fast. Winds ripping 100 miles an hour one direction for a few minutes and then shifted completely opposite, ripping 100 miles an hour the opposite direction for I don't know, a while. Incredibly bizarre. But in moments of chaos, stop, breathe, think, and act. I actually wrote about that in my book, Small Fish, Big Pond. But a really, really good lesson for leaders to remember because chaos can be the norm in business and entrepreneurship. The pivotal moment for me was when I had to make a split-second decision. Do I stay in the house or do I make a run to our steel frame workshop? Decision could literally be, life and limb kind of decision. And, it was that moment, I had new clarity on the weight of leadership and the impact that it can have on others. And, if you're curious, I did. I made the run to the workshop, and that was ridiculous in itself. But I thought that was better than, the alternative. The second lesson was preparation and plan. We've talked about what to do. We've been out here, 5-6 years. We've talked about what to do and done some mental reps. What would we do if this happened? And we've got, stuff prepared, flashlights, weather radio, where to go, what to do. We have a plan. But, in reality, some things went well with that plan and others didn't at all. And it worked out okay this time. But there was a lot of room for improvement. The flashlight worked. I couldn't find the weather radio. Communication with family members in town wasn't great at all. I could have done a lot better at that. But plans had to adapt to the reality on the ground. And like I said, some things went well and others didn't. And that really mirrors my business experience as well. The best strategic plans are, they're plans, right? And you could say, disaster recovery plan, sales plan, things never seem to go as planned, right? If you've been an entrepreneur for a while, you've probably experienced that. We have to be ready to adapt and make good decisions in the moment that are really aligned with our end goals. So we have to know what the outcome is we're looking for and then make decisions that move us closer to that when those plans we thought were going to get us there don't. The third was a little more emotional intelligence and empathy. It's one thing to see these events like on the news or, movies. I remember when Twister came out years ago. And you kind of understand it mentally, what people are going through and just kind of, what the experience is like. But it is completely different to experience it and go through that yourself. It's the kind of thing that happens to other people, not me. That's somebody else deals with that, not me. Well, until it did. And it completely shifted my perspective. I have a friend whose family lost their house in a tornado a few years back, and we were talking about it. And talking about just that perspective change. And he said something really I thought was profound. And it was, I wish nobody knew what that was like. Ignorance is bliss. And that's something that really, really stuck with me. And I thought was right on point. Ignorance really is bliss. And I wish nobody had to go through that. Not here, not the other people in Texas and the other states around, Iowa, Oklahoma, Nebraska, lots of places this weekend, and 15 people didn't make it out of that. So it's, I wish nobody had to do that, but ignorance is bliss. I wish I hadn't gone through it and I did know what it was like. But now that I do, it's that difference in kind of head knowledge and heart knowledge, really experience versus just kind of mental assent. Team members and employees go through tough things all the time, and fellow founders do too. It's one thing to be removed from it and hear about it on the outside looking in, and it's completely different to walk alongside, provide support, encouragement, and sometimes just sit in silence together. That's one of the things that we do within our community at Champion Leadership Group is not sit in silence together all the time, but it's founders who are experiencing all sorts of different things, good things, bad things, that we have all of these experiences, but we have somebody to share those with, and I think that's really, really cool. And super helpful, especially in those tough times. You know that somebody else has been through it before. So I'll leave you with just a little challenge, and that is, take a moment, reflect on your own leadership skills. How can you apply these three little lessons to your own life? And I'm looking at that and looking for different ways to apply it to mine as well. How can you do that and also inspire those around you to raise their leadership game? Drop me some comments in the chat below. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, comments, maybe lessons. And remember, leadership isn't just about a title, it's about making a positive impact and guiding others towards success. So look for lessons in everyday life because they are all around us, even sometimes when we wish they weren't.